Another quotient rule problem, I actually just left this up from the last problem so that we could reference it. It is the formula for the quotient rule formula, and it's a formula that helps you take the derivative of different kinds of functions. So the problem that we're going to be doing is f of x equals 3 over x squared plus x plus 1. So 3 is our f of x, and x squared plus x plus 1 is g of x. And we're just going to apply this formula to this function to take the derivative. So let's go ahead and take the derivative. We'll call it f prime of x, and we'll just follow this term by term. So the first thing we got to do is find f prime of x, because that's this first one here. So f prime of x, so f of x is the top, which means we need to take the derivative of the top, which means we need to take the derivative of 3. The derivative of 3, because 3 is a constant, is just 0. So we'll go ahead and write that. And then we would multiply it by g of x, which is the bottom, so we would multiply it by x squared plus x plus 1. But since we've got 0 here, we know that that's going to cancel, so we don't need to write out x squared plus x plus 1 for g of x, so we're just going to leave that alone. So then we'll say minus, and f of x is the top, which is 3, so we can say 3 times the derivative of the bottom, g of x here. So the derivative of x squared plus x plus 1. So we'll multiply it, and we'll say the derivative of the bottom here is 2x, the derivative of x squared, plus 1, the derivative of x. And the 1 goes away because the derivative of a constant is always 0. So that is now the top of our new derivative function. So we go ahead and do the denominator, which is just g of x squared. We have g of x here, it's the bottom, so we need to do the bottom squared. So we have x squared plus x plus 1, which is the bottom, but then of course we've got to square it, so we add a squared. And the only thing that I would do to simplify this is, personally, I think it's just personal preference. I would multiply this and just get rid of the 0. So I'm going to write my final answer as negative 6x minus 3 over x squared plus x plus 1 squared. You could leave it as negative 3 times 2x plus 1 over the bottom. Either way is fine, but either way, this is your answer.